Vietnam is home to an endemic primate that once remained unknown to even scientific community, an animal species that was on the brink of extinction, the result of hunting rare animals for the sake of human rapacious need. In fact, it was declared as critically endangered in the Vietnam Red Data Book and the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species, and it was presumed to be already extinct. But today, their population is thriving once again. This remarkable turnaround wouldn't have been possible without Tilo Nadler, the king of primates in Vietnam, who quitted his job and dedicated his life to langur conservation in a country 6,000 miles away. What made Tilo live his life in Germany and start over? What immense challenges would he face protecting this precious primate? And why is the key to conservation success neither funding nor regulation, as one might expect? All will be revealed in this video. Vietnam is home to 25 primate species, but almost 90% of them are facing the risk of extinction. 10 species are with extremely small numbers of individuals under the threat of exiting the earth. Of these endangered animals, nearly half are endemic to Vietnam. The one that will make a visit today is Delacour's langur. The Delacour's langur is an endemic primate found only in Vietnam. It is named after the French-American ornithologist Jean-Théodore Delacour, who discovered it in 1930.
More than 50 years, nothing known about the species. They're extinct already, how many animals left, what is the status. So in 87, the first living animals discovered in bookworm.
Delacour's langur sports striking black coats with distinctive white hip patches. Their sleek back tail cuts through wide pants, perfect for aerial acrobatics. Born bright orange, infants transition to black at 4 months as their tail reaches full length. These langurs prefer rugged, steep limestone mountains covered with tropical and subtropical forests. Rocky cliffs and caves are their favorite places for shelter and safety from predators. But they face a triple threat. Their limestone mountain homes are being mined for cement. Their food sources are vanishing to logging and economic development. And humans, their close relative, hunt them relentlessly. Like many endangered species, langurs are unaware of their precarious situation.
The langur, actually, they only use for medicine cook. But the macaques, they use macaque more for food. They say that the langur, the taste is not so nice.
Over 30 years ago, there was 16 isolated population of Delacour's langur found in Vietnam. By 2010, the number declined severely. 12 populations were extinct. Only 4 left. In the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species, the Delacour's langur is listed as critically endangered. Not enough support, while there are too many difficulties in preserving this endangered animal in Vietnam. It was thought the end of Delacour's langur existence on Earth. But that was where Tilo came in. In 1982, Tilo Nadler, a German, first came to Vietnam on an expedition to find some bird species in northern areas. 9 years later, he returned with a German film crew searching for the legendary Delacour's langur for their documentary film. The Vietnam Red Data Book and the IUCN Red Data Book had long classified this animal as critically endangered. However, at that time, their silhouette were found in Cục Phương National Park, Ninh Bình Province, Vietnam. For that, Tilo was more hopeful to find them, and he did. Getting fascinated with Delacour's langurs, Tilo wrote a conservation proposal to support this endangered animal right after his documentary project, but no one cared. he couldn't leave them abandoned. His love for these special creatures in Vietnam nature makes him stay. He wrote an application to terminate his labor contract with the Institute of Science in Germany to volunteer in Vietnam for primate conservation work. When he began his first preparation in the late 1991, the scientific community did not know much about this species. No biological information was found, just some vague description more than 50 years ago. It's like starting from scratch. Tilo, his wife Hien, and the rangers often got lost in the forest because, at that time, there were no supporting devices such as GPS or satellites. They even made tents from banana leaves to sleep overnight. When they ran out of food, they drank stream water and found their way back. A few days later, they continued on a new trip, and on it went.
Was also nothing to buy, There was no tools, no for the center. Started 93. Also water taps I imported from Germany was not possible to get in Vietnam.
The lack of equipment is not the only challenge that Tilo's team faced. Their work conflicted with the interest of the hunters. That's when Tilo realized it was the hunters themselves who can save these lovely animals. They need to understand the consequence of what they were doing. Tilo and Hien tried to persuade them, which sometimes ended up with collision and injuries. But their determination and love for nature made them stronger. Their perseverance and not being afraid of the act of encroachment on nature have inspired wildlife killers to become wildlife protectors. Half of the first 20 employees of Vân Long Wetland Nature Reserve were former hunters and illegal loggers. Tilo's relentlessness was the game changer, and what he did attracted attention from conservation organizations. They built the first establishment with financial support from international zoos and a piece of land granted by Cúc Phương National Park. Later, when forest surveys and connections between forest ranger nationwide improved, the number of rescue langurs increased. In 1993, the Endangered Primate Rescue Center was founded by Tilo, project manager of Frankfurt Zoological Society, with the support from Cúc Phương National Park. It aims to support Vân Long Conservation Area in Cúc Phương National Park in conserving endangered primates. Today, it is one of the best-run rescue centers in Southeast Asia. After being rescued from the poachers, the primates are cared for until they fully recover and rehabilitate. They are then put into groups, given birth, and reintegrated into the wild. Tilo named them after the names of his wife, his two sons, the center staff, the supporters, and the places where they were rescued. At Tilo's Endangered Primates Rescue Center, more than 300 rare primates have been rescued, more than 200 baby primates have been born, and more than 100 primates have been released back into the wild. Once declared extinct by humans, Delacour's langurs in Vietnam have increased from 40 in 2000 to about 420 today, living mainly in 4 protected areas. Vân Long Wetland Nature Reserve, 250 individuals. Kim Bang Protection Forest, over 100 individuals. Yên Mô Tam Điệp Protection Forest, about 40 individuals. In Huang Sơn Special Use Forest, about 20 to 30 individuals. With 4,000 hectares of wetland and limestone forest, Vân Long is doing the best conservation work for the Delacour's langurs. It has now become a place where people can enjoy the surreal beauty of mountains, swamps, and the quiet Delacour's langurs in an authentic, wild environment. This success is more than 30 years of volunteering by Tilo, his colleagues, Vietnamese forest rangers, and the local people of Vân Long. Every local knows Tilo, who he is, where he lives, and what he has been doing for Vietnamese wildlife.
30 years ago, it was not possible to see langurs in Van Long. I was in average 20 times in Van Long. One time I could see the langurs, but very far on the top. So very shy.
Vietnam ranked the 14th for the world's most biodiverse countries. The more diverse, the more urgent the action. Tilo's project was a pioneering step in preserving Delacour's langurs as well as endangered animals in Vietnam. Today, more and more conservation projects have been conducted to protect endangered animals. Tilo Nadler continued his primate conservation journey and inspired other organizations in primate conservation through first conservation work for other primate species. Tonkin snub-nosed monkey in Na Hang, Tuyên Quang, Cát Bà langurs in Cát Bà, Hải Phòng, and Great Shang Duc in Con Ca King National Park, Gia Lai. The list goes on. Vietnam's legal system has made progress in conservation, with penalties now higher than a decade ago, but they remain insufficient. Given the irreversible loss of many species, Vietnam must take stronger action. This includes both strengthening conservation policies and launching nationwide campaigns to increase public awareness about endangered animals. One of them is promoting sustainable tourism with excursions that combine nature and wildlife. Like the one we took in Van Long, tourists not only enjoy the beauty of nature, but also benefit from the knowledge of experienced wildlife experts and be aware of how important it is for these lovely creatures to live where they should be. Tilo Nadler's story of 30 years rescuing Vietnam Delacour's langurs and other primates inspires us to learn to live kindly with nature after what we have taken from it. If humans have the right to pursue happiness, then why shouldn't primates and other animals have the same rights? Thank you so much for watching until now. If you are interested in Tilo's preservation program and donation, please find the link in the description box. Also, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel for more great stories. Until next time.